Hi, and welcome to our Facebook Live Come Crafting with Jill and Jez. I'm Jez.
And I'm Jill.
And we do a live crafting session on the first Saturday of every month in our Facebook group. So if you would like to join us live on our group, then pop over to Facebook and join us. Come Crafting with Jill and Jez.
So we're going to use some retiring favourites.
Yeah.
And I'm using lots.
Me
Because
too.
I've got lots of retiring favourites. So I've made this. And I made a mental note of, I got inspired by somebody. I wanted to use some 12x12 sheets because at this time of the year, when the catalogue retires, we have lots and lots of 12x12 to use up. So it's like a little bit of a using one sheet. So I searched on YouTube ideas for using one sheet for junk journals. So it is a little fold out thing to go in a journal. And so it's got some tags.
Journal, it could stand alone.
It could stand alone. You could fill it. You could put photos in. You could put a gift card.
Yeah.
It could be a special birthday card. It could be all sorts. So there I just put little belly bands. So these are some of my favourite dies that go in. Lots of stamp sets I've used that go in. And some paper that's go in. So that was it. So I did watch somebody. I've changed it from what I watched. And I wanted to give them a shout out, but I can't remember. So when this goes on YouTube, I'll shout out to the person. Okay, so this is, I can't even remember the name of the paper. All our DSP retires, doesn't it? So
yeah. What's
the paper? I think this is reduced as well. I'm not sure. Most of it's reduced, isn't it? Delicate Desert.
Oh yeah,
Delicate Desert.
Yeah.
And there's some sheets in Delicate Desert that I think are really quite vintage. And if they're not, they can be vintaged. So gone for this sheet. I've used this before as a journal cover, but you didn't get to see this side, and I really like this side. So I'm going to put this side on the outside and this side on the inside. Okay, so we're going to cut it down first. I'm going to cut 3 inches off. So I want those stripes to go along that way. So I'm just going to cut 3 inches off. So the 3 inches that I cut, oh, that's a bit grunginess there. So the 3 inches I'm cutting off, I then use for other bits. There we go. So we have ourselves a little strip to use for something else. So here we've got 12 inches by 9 inches. I'm going to bring in my scoreboard.
Someone's saying that Samantha's saying she's currently dyeing paper purple with cabbage and can't help thinking of you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could do yours with cabbage though. I
didn't dye my hair with cabbage, but I have dyed paper with cabbage. Here we go. And then on the short side, we're going to score at 2 and 6. Now, the person I watched just folded and used an A4 sheet, well, American standard size, but I thought I'd give you some measurements. And she had this as not even, but I've made it even, but I can do that with 12x12. So we're going to do 4 and we're going to do 8. Okay, that's it. That's the quick scores. And then I'm just going to give it a bit of a fold, bit of a burnish. You could adjust the sizes. So this makes basically 4x4 square. Hers was more envelope shaped. So it was a bit more of a rectangle. You can change. You can cut less off. You can cut none off. I mean, it just, you do you. And then these are our foldy in bits at the side. and a little sliver needs cutting off a little bit there in a minute. So we are going to cut the 4 corners off, and I'm going to use my big Timmy scissors for this, and I'm going to put my glasses down because otherwise I can't see. So I'm just cutting up. Oh, I went squiff then. Cutting up score line. Okay. Cutting down this one.
Ooh, the noise.
What, the noise?
Good noise your
What?
scissors make. Your scissors make good
Oh.
noise.
Yeah, I do like a good sound of the cut. My voice is much better today, I feel.
Good. It's obviously not right still.
No, not completely right. A lot better. It's not sore or anything, and I've not been poorly.
Yeah.
I literally just strained it on Friday night.
Just overused your vocal cords.
Yeah, it was last Friday, and because I was in a noisy bar with terrible acoustics, had 65 million people to talk to, and so yeah, I ended up shouting and lost my voice. I lost my voice during the evening, and then it's just got worse and worse and worse. There we go. So what we need to do now, I'm going to take my glasses off. So these are going to become pockets on the side, and these will be used to cover the tags. Right, possibly I might do something different. So as it's me in its vintage, I've got to do some inking. So I'm going to do a little thumb notch there in the middle. Retired punch. We're doing retiring favourites, but this one did retire a long time ago. There we go. A little bit of a thumb notch there. And then I decided, which was a bit different than the other person, I decided to have slanty pockets at the side here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just thought they would look nice. So I'm just going to snip a little bit off, just a sliver off the edge there. And then I'm just going to, I didn't do that very well because I ain't got the glasses on and I can't see. So there we are. I think that's done it. And then what I did was I put the point there, and then I put the point up there, and then I put this end on about the 3/4. Of course, if you haven't got this trimmer, that's of no use whatsoever. That wasn't what you did, Jez, because that's not right. I'm gonna have to look at the other one. My mind's just gone smooth. Brain's gone smooth.
It could be different. It doesn't have to be exactly the same.
No, but I liked the look, and that look was not what I was getting. So there we go.
Oh, so you just cut a little sliver off. You didn't cut it in half.
Didn't cut it in half. There. Yeah, I did it that way. So I did put it at like 3/4, but it was just in a different way. There we go. Just cut a wee pad off like so, so that can go on there. It's still a little bit too long. Let's take a little bit off the edge. That'll fit. And then same on to the side. But I have to remember it has to be opposite. So I might measure. That's a bit easier, isn't it? When you're live. Just going to measure that. How I want it. That'll do. That'll do. And then we're going to cut slithers off so that it fits. Because when you've got a bit of a fold, it needs to be slightly smaller. So that goes in like so. And then this one, because it was a bit plain, I did loads of stamping to make it look old, using some of my favourite retiring stamps. I used that one there, Nature's Harvest, used those words and that dottage from Quiet Meadow. But this one, I don't think it needs stamping. So I'm just gonna inky dink all around it. So before I do the inking, I'm gonna use a punch that isn't retiring to do the envelope fold over, because that's pretty. There we go. That was a little bit harder than it really should have been, Jess. So, using grey granite. On the other one, I used Sahara sand, and all the cardstock is Sahara sand because that's retiring. But then when I decided to use this sheet, of course it's grey granite. So I'm going to use grey granite.
I like grey granite.
I do. Not retiring. Don't want to confuse people. Yeah. Not retiring. Oh, I couldn't find my little spongy dauber thing for this, so I just got a new one out. So just going around all the edges. If this wasn't live, this is the point at which I speedy up. So all the edges to be inked. If you don't like inking, don't do it. If you're making this with that's non-vintage, then you perhaps miss this bit out. But I try making things sometimes without inking and
can't do it.
Can't do it. It's like, oh, it doesn't look right. It needs a bit of ink. I love this sheet. It looks so old and vintage. I was going to hoard it, and then I just went, just use it, Jez. You'll get more pleasure out of using it. And I did think, I'd just buy another packet.
Yeah. Well, I was reading something on Facebook the other day about someone who was clearing out their parents' house and said, my mum's best shoes were there unworn.
Yeah.
The best china was stacked neatly in the cupboard, having never been used, you know, and you just think you need to use it. You need to use it because, you know, there's never a right time, you know, never a best time. So just get it used.
I watched a film on the aeroplanes, and it did take me 3 flights to get through it. And George Clooney, Julia Roberts, can't remember what it was called. They were the parents. They were going to their daughter's wedding, and they were separated. And one of the things that Julia Roberts said, her character, was, why save the good stuff for later?
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
Let's just get it done now.
Yeah.
Later might not come.
Yeah. You never know. You never know what's there waiting for you. Just use it.
Yeah. Get it used. So many edges to this paper. How long have I been?
You've got 3 more minutes.
What? For
till
my
past 2. Yeah.
Oh,
you've got 3 minutes.
Right. Okay. I think
can you
for the
speed
live,
up without doing it on the video? Can you do double time?
I can't do double time when I'm live, but I can. I can edit it when it's going out. What I'll do is just quickly show you different bits that I did, so you get the gist. All right.
You can overrun. Nobody will mind.
What is your project quick?
No.
All right. Because sometimes yours are.
Yeah, they are, but it's not today. I mean, it's not long. It's not terribly complicated, but it's not quick.
See, I knew that this inking would take a long time, but there was no way, because I didn't have another sheet of this, to do true blue Peter.
Oh.
So there we go.
Lovely.
So that's going to get, they're going to get stuck down. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my blending brush, but I can't. There it is. Fell over. Just going to give a little bit of this where it's kind of more whiter. Excuse me. So that's what I do. I do more of that, but I'm not going to do more of that now. So let me tell you. So I did use the dies and I cut those edges. That's the die set that goes with the Desert Delight. Let me show you the dies I used. So I used that border and I've used that tag from Designer Tags. That's also
Can you bring the border up to the camera a bit? I can't see what the border's like. Oh yeah, zigzaggy.
Yeah, it's got a nice little pattern in it. And then when you ink it, why am I not doing this on a piece of paper? Because I'm now panicking.
All right, take it.
I'll just do the one to show you. So, and then I stuck that on the edge. You know, that one didn't cut right. I don't need it all, so it doesn't matter. So then I've got my glue. You can see where I misstamped on the back for another bit. So then stuck it on there to give the pocket edge a nice edge, and then turn to the back, chop your bits off, and then that can get glued in place. Just checking it will fold over. It will. So just glue on the 3 sides and do exactly the same on the other side. So you don't need to see me do the other pocket. And then this, just down the 2 sides. So this one's folded up. You could fold up all 3. I did think about that when I was watching the video. I was like, you could fold up all 3 really, couldn't you? But then you get the funny bulk here in the corners. You'd have to snip it. So I do actually think it looks better. It looks better this way. Okay, so that one would be exactly the same. Did a little bit of decorating on this. So I used the little, oh, they're all up there. I used the little label stamp in Ranunculus Romance and kind of just stuck it there with a bit of that lovely vellum that's also going.
Yeah.
The layering, just whatever it's called.
Yeah, what I didn't do with any of my things today was check whether they're still in stock or whether they've sold out. So
yeah, no idea, but this is reduced.
Yeah,
and I thought another packet of this might just have to be bought because I loves it. What did I do with my blending brush? Can anybody see it?
Nope. They're obviously inundated, stamping up. My order from the 5th has still not. It's still in picking.
Really?
So that was a week and a half that it's still in, that it's taken for them to ship it. Yeah, about anything else.
Well, you've got demonstrate pre-order and you've got last chance products.
Yeah.
All at the same time. You can't cope.
No. And I've got a customer that ordered the same day that's still waiting as well.
Yeah.
Which is not great.
No. I've ordered from some company to deliver from the UK and they take that long. So.
Yeah.
So that's that. So that will go on there.
Hey, Hazel is saying we don't mind how long it takes. So there you go.
Yeah.
Take as long as you need.
I use this as a belly band. So that is, again, from the Desert, whatever it's called, stamp set. I just stamped these two. Thought I really like them. I don't like the flowers in the set, but I do like these bits. So I just made a quick belly band out of this. So I just put glue there, glue on that end, and then closed it up so I didn't get glue on anything. Stuck it across and hoped I'd done it so I got glue on that end. I think I have. I think it's straight. If it's not, I'll tidy up afterwards.
Looks straight.
So, and then I just joined those tags together and made a little tag in there. I did ink around it. I won't ink around it now, but it will be inked around. And then just a little bit of like thread. Join it together so it's not stuck. So in the set, these two sort of map with each other.
Yeah.
And I just left it loose. And what I didn't realise, I'd misstamped on the other side, but I thought that looked quite nice. So
yeah,
I didn't fret.
Can you remember what
they're
called? What are they called, those tags? Can you remember?
Design tags, I believe.
Designer tags. Yep. They'll be in the last chance sale as well.
Yeah. They're never going to leave my stash.
No. No, I've got quite a lot of things this time that aren't going to leave, but I'm going to have more things I'm keeping than current, I think. So.
Oh, we're international. Look, we've got a Canadian joining us, Safia. Hi, Safia.
Oh, Safia. Hi, Safia. Oh, I know Safia. She sent me some beautiful cards in the past.
Oh, lovely. There we go. Stuck that in there. And then this one, I stuck that one just to decorate the front bit. I'll show you. So I just stuck it along there, decorate the front bit. I'll do it after. And then I just did the closure.
Yeah, I was going to say, how is the closure?
I'll show you how I did the closure. So let me get grey granite scrap. So more retired stuff. So 3/4 inch circle. I just found the inch was too big. So I did 2 of these and then 2 1/2 inch.
Yeah. So sad they don't do these.
They're so useful, but I imagine anybody that bought them, they've still got them.
Yeah.
They have got a 2 3/8 inch punch, circle punch.
Yeah.
And I've got the 2 inch, the 2 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
So the 2 3/8 one would be a nice little map between them, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling I've got 2 1/4 as well, but
yeah,
I'm not sure. So I'm sticking those 2 together.
Oh,
and
Emma
then
designer tags are staying, not retiring.
I
thought
they were on the last chance list.
Oh, well, that's good news.
It is designer tags. I thought they were going. And the reason why you've got the little one, that's just so it gives you space to put your linen thread round. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
Right, now we've got to decorate this one. So I'm going to use my favourite ranunculus romance, and I'm just going to stamp a bit of that on it. There's my bit of paper there. There we go. Give it a little bit of something. Ink around the edge. Now it looks old. I hope nobody's got plans. I do apologise. I knew this was, I thought, oh, this is going to be long. But
you could do another video to show us all the bits you haven't had time to do.
well, so I thought I'd do. I'll finish it off and I'll tack it on to the live replay on the tube of you. Now, ideally, I'd leave that a little bit to dry, but we ain't got time for that. So, our plans are watching you both. Oh, thanks, Emma. I'm starving. I haven't had lunch. I ain't got any plans for after. I had to give up a little outing to York today.
Oh.
Ed's doing an open day at the uni.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to be there until sort of 12 o'clock. So it wasn't like crack of dawn get up. So he said, you fancy a day in York with James? And I was like, oh, that'd be lovely. And
I sacrificed it for us.
And then I remembered, so we were arranging what we were going to do, trying to get a booking in Betty's. I went, we haven't been to Betty's, let's try that. And then I remembered I was live. So I'm using my crocodile. Now, if you haven't got one of these, you can use a Brad. Do the same job. But I got crocodile. I love me eyelets. So one of them's going in. And that is one of them. I put a back on it. I won't put a back on it because that takes me ages. We need to be quick. So stick that in there. Give it a squeeze.
Oh, it's like an eyelet.
Yeah. And that sets them. And there it is.
Excellent.
In there. And then you just need a bit of twine. And I just put a bit of linen thread around there. See, it fits now because you've got that.
Yeah, you've got a little layer.
Got a little layer there. And I use 2 layers of cardstock because it makes it stronger. Just give it a bit of a knot. Do a second knot. So it's definitely in place. Left over right, right over left. Never know if I do that right. I say it, I'm not sure I do it. And then I usually snip off that end. And then I just wind it round a couple of times. And I've just remembered I haven't showed you the tags. So the tags, so that's that. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, very nice.
And then the tags, which I half prepared and was deciding whether to go with a different colour on the thing. I've lost my punch. So these are 3.5 by 3.5, and I just punched all the way around with my favourite punch. And then the mat is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and I just used a corner rounder on that to make it look nice. And I just left them plain. You could decorate them with other things if you wanted to, and they just matted on like that. But I did do some stamping to make it look a bit more
inking around the edge.
Yeah, inking around the edges, bit of stamping, made it look old, and then
Very nice.
that fit in there. I made the middle one slightly bigger because it's folded. So the middle one is a slightly bigger one. That is 3.5 by 3 3/4. And the mat was 2 7/8 by 7 1/8. Just because with it being folded, you haven't got the glue bit at the bottom. So
Yeah.
So when it was in, it's like still at the same sort of height as that. So there we go. I will finish it off, take some photos. When I do the live replay, I'll finish this off properly. So if you want to see it finished off.
I could make a nice non-vintage one of those, I can see.
Yeah, easily do it in a non-vintage fashion.
Yeah.
So yeah. And obviously I did the same way I did that little cluster there. I did up there.
Oh yeah.
So there we go. That's
very nice. I like the closure.
Yeah, I like that. And if you were doing it in a journal, you could stick that down on 3 sides and have a pocket behind. And then you would just need your bit of thread coming up from behind.
Yeah.
So instead of attaching it there, you would just have a bit coming up from behind and then wind it round. So yeah, that's what I've done.
Excellent.
So okay, so hopefully this will be fairly seamless. So I'm going to finish this off as promised. The live was just a wee bit too long. So what I'm going to do is show you what I did to make these. So you saw me cut them out. So now we're just going to distress a little bit. Move me little photo corners. I'll keep them in a pot. So what I'm going to do is do some inking and distressing. So I used, and these are the ones that I used on the original one. So we have got the dots from Quiet Meadow. I don't think this is retiring. This one is, and I've used that bit there. It's supposed to be like veins in leaves, but I think they look quite it's a bit like, so I'm just going around like that. So a bit like when you get aged books, what happens in the corner. It's also a bit like Rising Damp, I always think. So put that around like that. I might do it on both sides actually. Now that I'm not worried about time, put a bit of this around there. And then we'll have a bit of dottage as well. And then I'll do a bit on the back of this so it looks a tad older. There we go. And then we'll just ink around the edges. I'm just going to show you one because you don't need to see me making all 3. All made in exactly the same way. I think the grey granite's nice for a change. So that's going to be the back of your journaling card, and that's the front bit. Just close that a sec. So we're just going to glue it in place. So in the original one, I used the 3 by 12 inch bit that I cut off. I'm just using up some scraps from this paper pack, which also would match quite nicely, so I thought we'll go for that. Go that way. Don't think it really matters which way up this is. There we go. So I'm just going to eyeball that to centre it. A little bit of wiggly room. It's not very straight, Jez. Straight enough. There we go. Give it a bit of a... And that fits in there. Like so. I don't like... sort of ink this up with my brush that had like let's get some paper under there, had like soft suede on it, so it's looking more browny as opposed to grey granite. So let's rectify that a little bit. Yeah, a bit better. There we go. So I'm going to do the other one in the same way, and that is all I did on the centre. I could do a bit of dodge around it just to add. And I want so that's got a tad of green on, which is no longer on it, so yeah, that's better, I think. Yeah. Give it a bit more aging that I didn't have time to do it in the live. I do love this paper, and when Jill was doing her crafting in the live, I had a quick look at the last chance products, and this paper is reduced. So, I don't know about you, but I just might be adding a bit of that to my shopping basket. I don't think I put any dottage on there. There, like that. Right, I'm gonna do the other 2 tags. As well, so just in case it was all a little bit too quick. The middle one is slightly bigger, but slightly longer, so use this punch, which is not retiring, and we just punched each of the corners, gives it a really nice finish, like so. This one we just rounded the corner on. And that will go on there, and then you've seen me decorate middle one exactly the same. This we didn't get quite a chance to finish yet, so let me take this off. So we do have to poke out all my L's, because I didn't do that. And this set isn't retiring. I thought it was. So that's good, because it's a lovely wee kit. There's some other frames that are retiring, that are reduced, that I've had my eye on ever since the catalogue came out, and I didn't buy it, but I am sorely tempted. So let's go around the edge. Oh, there's a couple that didn't poke out. Not really going to see that back, but thought I'd do it anyway. And that's where I misstamped, but I quite like that on there. I think it works. Happy little accident. There we go. And I'm just gonna crunch this up a little tad. There we go. So that's that bit finished. So like before, we'll poke it through. Poking it through. I've lost my thumbnail. First outing last night. Went out last night, celebrate a friend's birthday. And so I stuck on some nails. And before I'd even left the house, thumb came off. There we go. I'm making a right dog's dinner of this, aren't I? There we go. There we go. And then I did tied in a little bow. So straight after the live, I went up my local street, get my prescriptions, and I had a little skeg in the cherry shops. And as I've been away, I haven't been in them for ages. So that was exciting. So I'll do a video of what I got. Laters. There we go. So that is now ready. Ready to go in there. Oh, that's a good idea. Now I could put it that way. Oh, I like that idea. So that was there. So that needs this bit. I'll just put it across there. Like so. So that it can be seen when that's folded down. So stick it across there. So let's get some glue. This stamp set, I think, is also reduced. I say for me, I quite like some of the sentiments in it. But I really like these stripes. So there are some good sentiments. I'm not a fan of those flowers particularly, but I do like them stripes. Okay. Seem to have cracked that paper. I must have been pressing too hard. There we go. I quite like it. So that's that, that's that. Oh, we just need to do a little bit up there. So I'll just rip a bit of this in a very random fashion. I think I need a bit more ink on it. Cool. And then another one of those labels. There it is. I'll go on there. Like it, like it. So what I did was I glued this back onto the vellum. And because vellum often shows the glue, I just put the glue on the bit where that label was. So that sorted that out. There we go. So we just need the tags in that pocket. So I had already cut that pocket, ready to go on there. think I need to take a sliver off. I also want to do a bit of that. A bit of this. Take the smallest smidge off. So it will close. Feels about right. And then we've got a bit of this. And I'll go over with this. And you can see slight difference there. That's a bit brownier because I used the other blending brush. I might see if I can pick it off and do it again, because those sort of things annoy me. So just stick this on the edge. Oh, and it was, which and I've written it down, who I was inspired by, and I've written it down and I can't read my writing. I think it was Kathy's Garden. Not sure now. I will link it down below. So I will be checking out more of her videos. Never noticed her before. I say it just came up in a search for doing things with 12 by 12 for junk journals. That's quite a bit of difference, that. And those sort of things bother me. So that's that. So that's that. So we just need to finish the tags. So I'm gonna finish the tags and show you when that's done. Okay, so I've done all that, done the tags, decided to do the centre one to match, just to be different, and I really had to get rid. So I thought I'd show you how I do it. So I got the flat end of my picker tool and just gently went underneath and got it off like that. And then I've already prepped that so that I can now stick that across there. It just looks so much better. I wouldn't have been able to sleep. It's just wrong. And I'm saying it's just because I used my blending brush that I use on soft suede, so it just give it the wrong colour completely. So I'm gonna fold like that so we don't get it stuck where we don't want it stuck actually. Before I do that, some bits on the edge. It's just so, just in case any of those bits are seen. Just give it a good old ink there. And I can stick that down. Put my glasses on. And I can be sure it's at the edge. Oh, yeah. Then we just snip the ends off. And then and then do that. And then we are done. We are done. So that closes there. That closes over there. That goes down over there. And then I like to go 1, 2. Oh, I didn't do enough for it to go around 3 times. Doesn't really matter. I just like 3s. There we go. That is my little, what did somebody call it? Foldy floppy thing? I don't know. But there we go, my foldy floppy thing in the 2 different designs. So that'll get tacked on to my live when it's on YouTube. Hope you like that. Most of what I used, apart from the label dies, are in the last chance. Oh, this is not. This is carrying over. But lots of these things are reduced now, so do go check them out and pick yourself up a little bargain. Okay, it was Kathy's Garden that I watched. I will link it down below. And yeah, hope to see you all again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you for watching. Now, why don't you go, there's a link down below and you can pop across and see what Jill has made during the live as well. And why don't you join us on our Facebook group next time? Okay, bye for now.
Bye.